Is up, y'all? Happy Friday. I have a friend, good friend of mine, who opened up a barbershop in Tampa, and he hasn't had time, resources to build a website. So I decided I'm going to surprise him, and I'm going to actually design and build a website for him, probably in WordPress, but I haven't really gotten that far yet. But figure what I do is just stream it live because I'm going to try using ChatGPT to really help this up and speed this along. I've never built a website or designed a website for barbershop before, so this should be pretty interesting. So, like I said, I'm just going to kind of do a working session with y'all today. It's Friday. Let me know in the comments what y'all got going on this weekend. Share my screen, get my head out the way, swap it up. All right, cool. So I did start here in ChatGPT by just saying, this is the name of the barbershop in Tampa. Let's start by working on the homepage layout only, and let's see what we can start coming up with to start designing this thing. Now, I've also got, they don't really have a whole lot of visual elements. They have a logo, which I'm going to give the ChatGPT and see if it can figure things out. But I'm going to start mocking this up in Figma. Figma is a design platform that we prefer to use. It's good for visual layouts. These are all like client landing pages here. And then I am just going, like, I'm not a designer, so I'm not going to do like the quote unquote UI. I'm going to do more of the UX. So I've got some page template layouts here. These are really for an agency. So I'm just going to make a copy of these. I'm going to duplicate these. Let me get the chat up so y'all can hit me up today too. What's up, y'all? I got the chat going. All right. So again, this is going to be mainly grayscale. It's going to be kind of like a quote unquote ugly design, if you will. I'm then going to pass this to my UI designer, who's going to make this look, really pretty with fonts and colors and patterns and stuff like that. But I'm going to do my best to just give a layout here. So let me see, Neighborhood Barber Co. All right, so that's the name of the business. Just move this down here. Again, just to kind of get this basic layout stuff here going on. So the next thing I'm going to do is just, I did get a logo. I got a logo and I got this color. This is a color that I saw that they painted their wall off Instagram. I just literally just took a screenshot of it so I can get the color. Because what I'm thinking that I want to do is, incorporate this color as kind of like an accent color. So if we set up just kind of like a basic color palette here, this will be black. I think that's their main color, right? We do black. We'll do this gold. Let's get like a nice gold in there. That can be like the call to action color. And then let's see how this green plays. Just as like a very light accent color, right? Just to give the designer some sort of element. And basically it'll be mostly black, call to action, and like I would say a very light amount of this green. I don't really love this color. Could just be a wall color, but just to kind of get things flowing on the website. So logo here, and we've got the logo. We'll probably make this a heavy black website, a black-based website. But here's what it's got here. So what I want to use this for is to really speed along the copy portion of it. What I want to try and do is get all the copy written, so that way the visual designer has all the elements that they need. And that way my friend doesn't have to like muck around with copy. It's really what this stuff is great for, is writing a lot of this copy. If anybody has any tips on using ChatGPT for website design too, this is my first time doing it. So we'll figure this out. So bold headline, your neighborhood, your cut. Sub headlines. So I just want to, let's start with the headline and hero section, right? Is a family-owned business with, and a family-friendly business. A lot of kids get their haircuts here too, adults as well. Let's lean into a headline about the neighborhood feel and see what that can come up. So family owned, friendly vibe, blah, 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 warm, welcome, local, sub headlines start with. whenever we're using AI, man, it's better to just feed it bite-sized pieces. If we try and have it write like the entire copy website, um, family-owned neighborhood, this love, that's not bad. Or just cut neighborhood tradition. I do like this sub-headline here that I'm going to go with. Grab that. I don't know if we need like a headline like that. Or headline options. Love these. See what else we can get to spit out here. I don't really love those headlines. Where the neighborhood grows up. Cuts you can count on, people you know. I kind of like that. But I'm going to make it haircuts. Try and get that keyword in there. People you know. Neighborhood Barber Co. All right. And then, we'll probably do. Okay. I kind of like that, right? All right. So that's the headline. Now let's go back up and see what they had next. About welcome message. Okay. So now let's write the about welcome message. Focus it on the neighborhood feel and vibe and wanting to create a family-friendly community place. All right, so the next thing we're going to put on here next, so this would be like schedule haircut. Or like book appointment, something like that. And maybe, this style of header too, I think it would be great if we did kind of like a high-res photo for the header in the background and actually move this over. I actually think like a cell phone video here would be cool. Like a vertical video. These types of businesses, these kids these days are only doing vertical videos, So or maybe we could do like a kind of like a, I'll have the designer do this, but like a bunch of people posting on Instagram, right? These will be like these Instagram posts of like kids getting their haircut. If we did something like this, and we put that in here. Something more like this. And then we can just do a bunch of them kind of like raining down together. We can just replace these as we go. Yeah, that could be kind of cool, right? Like a tile thing here. I can just crop this for this purpose here. I'm not a designer, I swear. But it's funny, whenever I get on calls, because we'll do some websites for clients, and I know my way around this platform very well, right? And I pop in here. I guess if you've never used a design tool like this before, it seems like witchcraft what I'm doing, right? But it's super easy once you know how to use it, get a handle on using it. And I actually think that like knowing how to use platforms like this is a very highly undervalued skill for marketers, to be able to do like visual layouts and landing pages and stuff like that. Like you should be able to do that. I mean, it's a great skill set if you're able to do that. And then maybe we can even put like a video on top of this too, right? And then we can make this like bigger, right? You can make that headline. Haircuts you can count on, people you know. That's cool. Something like that, right? And then we'll have a designer make the stuff look cool. What do y'all think so far? What am I missing here? All right, we don't need this. But then what I do want to put here, right, is I actually think that before we get into the about, we should probably just get right into like the services, right? So since I already wrote this though, welcome to Neighborhood Barberhood Co. Just put that in there. And I'm going to show you guys all like the marketing implications of this stuff too. Again, this is like quick and dirty stuff. The designer will make all the stuff look good. Family owned shop. All right. All right. Yeah, designer can clean all that stuff up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to group this stuff together. And then what I would do is I would grab a picture of the family, right? This is like a obviously hyper granulated picture here, but I would take something like this. I would get like a high res photo of this. I would just ask them after they have it and just add the photo in there. This is again just a placeholder here. Grab this, pop that in there. Cool. Okay. Right. Again, maybe even make that a video. I'm always a big video person over whatever. All right. And then I'm just going to group these things together here. Group selection. And I'm going to move this for now so I can use this later. All right. And then what I think I want to do here is I want to put the products and services that they offer. So they had it here in here. I say they, ChatGPT had it in here. Booking banner, meet the barber, services previews. Let's get a list of all the services they might offer. Right. And then what I think we'll do is we'll do like little card designs down here. So from an SEO point of view, right now we're starting to talk marketing. This is why it's so good for, you know, SEOs to learn this stuff too. Right. To me, we want to rank them for Tampa barber shop, right? That's obvious. But we can already see like it's mainly Google Maps. But if we did something like low fades Tampa, right? This is what people are searching for. You know, so like you can see this here, the Cut Tampa, they've got a dedicated landing page for this. This is really smart, man. This is really smart, really clean. Not necessarily going to be a huge driver, but like if we do that, if you're picking up more and more of these types of things that a lot of other barbershops I'm competing for, this is how SEO can still have a pretty big impact on a business, right? Especially for businesses that can't necessarily invest in advertisements to grow their business. They got to rely on organic traffic. So buzz cut, one length skin, ball fade, line up, shape up, scissor cut. Yeah, so this would be, you know, I would put, let me just take these things over here and paste them here. Let me just put these things in white. So I'm not going to design all this stuff. What I would do is I would tell the designer, like, we don't need, it would be something like this. Earn more. Right, if we just make these little cards here, some light and some cute, you know, make this a little bit smaller. So let's say that we're going to do let's say that we're going to do how many services? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They don't do women. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll call it 8 services. Right. So that means we probably want to try and get 4 across here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So like, yeah. Services. Yeah, see, it's smart. You see how they have this comb over here trap, blowouts. It's really smart because people are definitely searching for that stuff. Really, really smart. That's nuanced SEO from a barbershop. Take notes, people. Take notes. So like men's haircut, and the more that the more of these that they can do, the better. Teen haircut. So yeah, and then what I would do is I would just have the designer. I'll just make a note. That's what's cool about Figma. You can tag the designer too, like services to add to carts. And I always film a Loom video showing my designer how to do this stuff. So what did ChatGPT call this stuff? Core services. Yeah, like I would say this too, like hair services. I want to say something with Tampa, but I'm going to do a dedicated landing page for that too. So I don't want to like over optimize for that necessarily. So like haircut, I'll just call it haircut services, right? And I like to just put these on the home. I just like to just jam them up here, right? Because if you think about this from like a conversion point of view too, meaning if you came across this website, what would you be looking like? What are you looking for from a barbershop, right? Do you want to read, if you're at the homepage, do you want to read the about section up front? No, I don't think so. I think that's important, but I don't think it's like, top of the page important. I would say this should probably go somewhere down towards the bottom of the page. And this would be like, read more. And then like book service, right? And then we'll have a dedicated about page too that talks more about the brand, talks about the location, shows pictures of location, what to expect, etc. So this goes here. All right. Now the next thing I think that we should put in, because this actually did a pretty good job here. So like about welcome, services preview, meet the barbers. Let's just take all this stuff. This is actually pretty good, man. Like I don't hate this. What ChatGPT did as a layout here. So I don't like meet the barbers because barbers are always turning over. always turning over. So, maybe what we could do here is like a big booking call to action, right? Like, just think this website should just be like laden with like booking call to actions all the time, So like, book your like first time, save 25% off your first haircut, something like that. Like a nice little offer we can do. And then I'd usually write copy like, write me 30 words on an offer for first timers getting 25% off. This is honestly like when people are like, I don't really see the value in like ChatGPT and stuff like this. Honestly, like just being able to write micro copy like that, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how like much time that saves because you just don't have to think. I don't have to waste like my deep thought space on this stuff. it just flows so naturally out of ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it is that you're using. Like I can't imagine people not using this as like an always open assistant, right? So walk-ins welcome, booking call to action. All right, so now we definitely want to do gallery of recent cuts. And again, this one too would just basically be like all vertical images here. Just think this is like, you know, you can get so many of them. And I would say, here too, I wonder if we should use photorealistic images or icons here. Because if they have enough content here, which it looks like they do, you know, I would just embed all these as videos. Personally, I would just do like all video embeds. So like, you know, this would be like, barbers are skilled barbers cut. Can, what would we say here? Like match. I don't want to say cut any type of hair. We'll figure out that microcopy later. All right, and then we would do reviews. Reviews is another big one here. It's easy. They have a ton of Google reviews here. So Tampa's, we'll just say like Tampa's top rated barbershop. And then we'll just do a neighborhood barber co Tampa, just to grab a few of these reviews. Neighborhood Tampa. There we go. Yeah, I've got 110 Google reviews here. And there's me. It's my boy. So like, I love stuff like this. You know, these to me like really denote that it's a real review, you know. Took pictures of his kid. I love that. You know, stuff like this. And this is also where I would just have the designer like really kind of step in and design something cool here. So it's not just like a list of testimonies. It's not just like a list of these. You know, it'd be more of like a, I don't know, some sort of like carousel or something here. All right, so we got that. And now I think we can do the about part. And then let's do another call to action here. How y'all doing out there? It's crazy. Y'all are just sitting here watching me design a website without any input. I love it. And then down the bottom, what I like to do, we'll leave that footer there, is I have this. No, let me see. Barbacoa, I have this element already done. That's all right. I want to put like a Google map embed at the bottom here. And I've got this somewhere in here. Let me just find it. Law firm website. Oh, I have it right here. Duh. PPC lenders. No, I don't have it in there. I have it in is the problem. I do this so much, and I've got so many of these things flying around. I think I have it on Webris, Figma. Let's see here. Basically, just looking for this layout that I have that's already done, just so it's always easier if you already have it done. You don't have to explain it to the designer. They can just kind of figure it out. She always runs a little bit slow when we are streaming. All right, so where do I have it? This is my agency's website here, but I've got this map embed element. There it is, right here. So I can just take this here and just drop it here as a reference point. But I would say do it like this. A little more side-by-side vibe here. Just move all this stuff down. And then these would be here. Let's take up a little bit more space. So I can figure the rest out, and then they can also do a footer at the bottom. And I think that would be it. And then the other page that I would want to design would just be for about and services. But honestly, this would be version 1 of the website. I don't think you need a lot here for this type of website. You just need a one-pager for the time being, and then you build and iterate on this. So that's it, man. That's ChatGPT just kind of giving me a leg up here. Some stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever used ChatGPT. Let's try this. Yeah, so this isn't actually a book now, services. Yeah, those are all actually good things that I would want to put on there, right? It wouldn't just be services, gallery, book services, book service. Yeah, word. I think that's it. Nobody's talking today. Anybody got any questions for me? How can I help? Nobody, huh? All right, well, I'll let y'all go. Have a great Friday. And yeah, see you next time.